What's up guys, it's your boy Lowpes and welcome back to another video. Absolutely beautiful day for a wash. Check out the BRZ. It is looking super clean. Look at it. Goddamn. She's looking absolutely fantastic. Check out the wheels. They're looking beautiful. Car's looking nice. I want to give it a little wash before we got into it. I definitely needed one. One thing I hate about washing my own car is I find scratches every day. Like if you guys can see it, let's see if I darken it a bit. Somehow there's a scratch right around here, like right around there. Somehow. I've never scratched it myself, don't know how the hell it happened, but it looks like someone may have walked by and just kind of like went like that with their nails or something like that. I don't know, shit like that bothers me a lot. Every time I park this car somewhere and I leave it for a couple hours, I find more scratches and it kills me. I hate it. We got some OEM Nerf bars for the CRV, roof rack, parts on parts everywhere. After I finish filming this video, I'm actually going to probably clean this garage up a bit because it looks like a tornado hit here and I do need to sell a lot of parts. If anyone wants, I have AIT racing side skirts for the WRX. If anyone's interested, message me. Local sales only, but the Nerf bars are gonna look sick. We have roof rack, Huggies, you know, just in case I shit myself. We got a double din system there, and pretty much parts are piling up. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to answer some questions. So on my Instagram, I posted the question thingamajiggy, whatever the hell the thing's called, for you guys to ask me some questions, and I'm gonna answer your questions. We're gonna go through all of them, and then I guess you guys are gonna know a little bit more about myself and my goals and all that type of stuff. Some good questions, some funny questions, but we'll go through them. And I just wanted to show you a sneak peek of some of the parts happening for the CRV build. It's Big Red, AKA the CRV. We're doing a JDM Overland build on that. And then we have the Slam Static BRZ as the other. It's a good contrast between the two, and I think it looks absolutely sick. It's nice having the CRV. I'm able to just automatic AC and just drive around enjoying it. And then I have the BRZ where I can just be a little more sporty. I probably should have washed the car after the questions. That's why now I'm sweating and I'm red. Let's get into this. Let me set you guys up and we're gonna answer a few of your questions. I'm hoping to do this at least once a month, and so I can connect a little more with you guys and you guys can understand who I am as a person and maybe answer some funny ass shit too. So let's get into it. All right, so we're sitting in the BRZ. It's hot outside. And I was like, let me hop in the BRZ, turn on the AC just a little bit. Hopefully you guys don't hear that too much, and maybe answer some of your questions. I'm gonna try doing this a little more often, maybe once a month if possible, if I have enough questions. Anyways, I have quite a few questions to answer. I'm just gonna go in order, no specific order. It's just the ones that I've kind of saved and gone from there. I'll try to be as open as possible with all my answers. I don't know if you guys like this, make sure you comment down below and let me know you guys want to hear more of these. Maybe we'll connect a little more and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's answer the first question. Mart's FK7 asks me, coilovers or lowering springs for a daily? Big question here. My honest opinion, I really think coilovers are the way to go still. Unless your lowering springs are doing the exact job you want it to be. The good thing about coilovers, especially living in a country that has different seasons, is you can adjust accordingly. Summer and spring, you can slam that thing, and then once winter comes around, you can raise it and put a winter tire on there and continue driving. And that's the great part about coilovers. They're adjustable. I had springs on my 10 Gen Civic and I drove the car not lower throughout the whole entire year. I basically went down a size in wheels. I went to 17s instead of 18s and I put a thicker winter tire. I hope that answers your question. Coilovers always, unless you're super happy with how your springs sit. Here's a good question from Uber Boost. He's asking, will I boost the Subi? Yes, the plan is to boost this, hopefully make around the 350 mark and see how she handles it. If she handles it fine, we'll try increasing it slowly. My goal with this car is to hit 500 horsepower. I've never had a car at 500, so my goal is for this BRZ to hit 500. With what motor, I'm not sure, but the goal is to have 500. So yes, I will boost it. Hopefully it doesn't blow, and if it does, we'll have some interesting things coming in the future. Another question about boosting the BRZ, I just answered that. Alex that continuously is in this video asks, do you miss Alex? Guys, tell him always. A video with Alex's sarcasm and knowledge is an amazing video. I think the dynamic between both of us is funny. He's the more serious, busts my chops type of guy, and I'm kind of the goofy, all red, sweating guys you can kind of see. Yeah, I don't know. Something along those lines. But yes, of course we miss you, Alex. Lindo91 asked me, do I miss VTEC? Yes, VTEC is a wonderful, wonderful thing. There's something about cracking VTEC and hearing that crossover that's special. Don't underestimate a Honda ever. The power to weight in those cars goes so much further than a lot of other cars. So even if they have less horsepower, they still can move. I'm a little off the question. I'm just kind of ranting about my Hondas. Hondas are the best. No, I'm joking. Hondas are great. I love Honda. I love Subaru. I love all brands, to be honest. It's just, I've been brought up in Hondas, and that's pretty much why I got into it. But Honda VTEC is always an amazing thing, and I will always miss Honda VTEC. Good question. What got me into cars? So it was a variety of things, I would say. So my dad had a, I believe it was an 89 or 90 GSR Integra that I absolutely fell in love with. It was two-door, it was red, it was awesome, it was standard, it was such a fun car. I was super young, so I obviously couldn't drive it, but pretty much I even told my dad, I remember telling him back in the day, I'm like, hey man, well not hey man, hey pops, please don't get rid of the car. I absolutely love it, but it was giving us issues and it was falling apart. So my dad's like, oh, we're just gonna get rid of it, need something a little more reliable, something four doors. So that's what we went with. But my dad is what initially got me into cars. But since I was a kid, like growing up, like all I wanted was two things, cars and action figures. And I pretty much put the action figures in the cars, right? I would have like Ninja Turtles, Batman, all that type of stuff, Transformers, and a bunch of Hot Wheels, a bunch of cars. And it's just something that I developed as a child. I've always loved cars. I've loved taking them apart. My mom used to tell me, she would buy me a car and within 10 minutes, all the wheels are off and the car's apart in pieces. And I would just love taking things apart and putting it back together. And I think that's where the love stemmed from. Then I started hanging out with Alex. He's the guy in the videos. And he was into cars and had an automatic HN, and he's like, hey man, why don't you just put it like, why don't you just put HIDs? And I was like, I don't want to spend money on cars, you know, it's an automatic HN. It's like, it's okay, we'll do HIDs. So I did HIDs. Hey man, why don't you do a colder intake? So I did a colder intake. Then I was like, hey man, why don't you sell the car and get something else? So, you know, Alex was kind of a big influence, and my friends at the time at that era was a big influence in me getting into cars. So basically, I was always into cars, then the modified scene basically came from Alex. So blame Alex or congratulate Alex, because he's the one who basically stemmed this whole YouTube together, because if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have got into the whole modified scene, because it was just a little overwhelming at first and a little nerve-wracking, because when you first get into the scene, there's so much to learn, and that's why like I try answering every question. Like I remember being that guy that didn't know what a front lip was called, or under spoiler according to some sites. But yeah, so I guess it was a three-part answer. I always loved it since I was a kid. My dad's GSR, and Alex getting me into the modified scene. Really good question. How do I like working at a performance parts shop? What's my next goal? Honestly, it's the best job I've ever had. Like, I have a resume of jobs that I've gone from a mortgage advisor at a bank, I went into mill work, I've done landscaping, I've done pretty much a whole variety of things. So my resume kind of varies. I was never really happy at any of these jobs. I always wanted to get into the car scene full time, and luckily enough, Mr. Rick at Garage 16 hooked it up, and he's amazing boss, amazing time. The job is perfect. To give you a short answer, it's amazing, and I highly recommend it to anybody. Under $10,000, what is the best car, truck, SUV to get started? Honestly, I'm gonna give it to the Hondas. The amount of money you can buy a Honda for, it's a little more expensive these days, but you can buy a decent Honda, let's say for 5 grand, 5 to 7 grand, maybe 10 if you get something super nice, like an 8th gen or something, or even an older Honda for around the 5. And it's a good car to get into the scene because the parts are cheaper, and if you break something, it's not as expensive. And what's amazing about Honda is like they're like Legos, like all the B series stuff pretty much work together, all the D and B work together, all the K's pretty much work together. It's all like Lego pieces that basically can be carried over from each car, and it's amazing. You can put like a K motor in an older Civic, right? And then I don't know if anyone's ever put a B series in a car that had a K, but overall it's a awesome car to start with. Community's huge, a lot of support, a lot of aftermarket support, and not as expensive as everything else, which is good. So you can make your dollar stretch a little further, do a few more mods with the same amount of money compared to like German and all that type of stuff. So this is interesting. Would I ever get a motorcycle, a snowmobile for winter videos? I would love a bike. It's just where I live is so hectic for driving that I would never feel comfortable. I low-key would want a Harley like really bad, and maybe one day if I move to a bigger house with a bigger lot, I'll eventually maybe have one when I'm older. I have way too much things that I kind of want to do before the bike. I'd love to modify and work on a whole bunch of other cars, but a bike, yeah, one day I'll have a bike. Would I ever buy a car and completely rebuild it? Yeah, I would take one of those wrecked cars and completely rebuild it, as long as the frame is half decent, and or if it's bent and it's fixable, you know, that's okay. But like, I would try getting a frame as straight as possible. But if I would love to rebuild a car from nothing and up, and just knowing that I've put every bolt and everything into it. The EKK swap that I did, I put a lot of new parts on there, so I guess you can say that was a semi rebuild, because pretty much every suspension part, almost every ball joint, knuckle, everything on that car was pretty much new. So that was close. That's probably my closest I've been to actually rebuilding a car. But yeah, I definitely would. I love restoring cars. Like the EK was amazing from what it was and what we brought it to. I wish I still had it. Unfortunately, the realistic part about it is it didn't do well on the channel, and I need things to do well on the channel. So, but now look, we're in a 22 BRZ, and I do not regret it because this car's absolutely sick. Someone asked me, I thought I was going lifted. I ain't lifting the BRZ, I'm lifting the CRV. I actually have the lift kit coming soon. I think I'm gonna lift about I think it's 2 inches. I'm gonna start small. We're gonna go 2 inches, and if I wanna go bigger, I'll go bigger afterwards. But yeah, I'm lifting the CRV. That's gonna be my JDM overline build, and then I'm gonna have my Slam Stance BRZ. So a little bit of both worlds, and yeah. Here's a good question. Where do I hope to see myself and the channel in 5 years? In 5 years, my goal would be to move from where I am now to a property that's maybe a little bigger, that I can have a separate garage with hoists and more space. The biggest thing for me right now is space. I can only carry 3 cars at a time, including mine, my daily, Alexander's daily, and the BRZ. So I can't have more than 3 cars, unfortunately, just because the space isn't there. And one day I would like a lift, and like, even if it was just like a garage that was separated from the house and I had a small like half acre or something, my goal is pretty much to get a property that's bigger. And for the channel, I would love to go full-time. Honestly, my goal's been full-time. I've been working at it as hard as I can. Life's crazy right now. I have a newborn, but I'm still trying to grind away. And my goal right now is for 30K. I think one day if I'm at the 100K mark, I may be able to go full-time and support the family and the bills and everything. So as long as you guys keep watching this ugly face and enjoying the content that I provide, I hope I moved from my location now and I have a bigger property and I am doing YouTube full-time. That is the goal. Long-term goals with the BRZ. So that's a good question. Boosting is gonna be one thing I'm definitely gonna do, and hopefully the motor holds. It's a better motor supposedly, so if the motor does hold, will be good. I'll try boosting around the 350, and I want to get into one of 2 things. The car's a little new at the moment, but eventually I'd like to try drifting out and circuit and see where my love lies between the two. And I might just try drifting the car. Like I've done so many, you know, builds that were front wheel drive, kind of fast in corners, but I've never had a rear wheel drive car that I can actually drift. And I don't know, I'm leaning to one of those 2 things. My goal, I don't know if it's gonna happen this year, but maybe next year I'm gonna have 2 setups. That we'll have the stance setup that we have, and then after that we'll go do a track setup and actually start tracking the car and maybe I'll do it this year. I don't know. If I can find another set of wheels and tires that aren't stupid expensive, I might just slap them on and go to the track. Let me know what you guys want to see. Would you guys rather drifting, or would you rather a circuit? I like both. Well, I've never really drifted. I've done just stupid donuts and stuff. So once I've learned and done, like, if I've done that, then maybe I can make my decision. But long term with the BRZ would be full-blown race car, either being drift or circuit with 500 plus horsepower underneath of it. That's the goal. How do I feel about cops cracking down on the community here? This is a good one. So this is my take, right? Unfortunately, we have a group of people that just do stupid shit in the middle of roads and get caught, and then it's kind of labeled, and we all get labeled as that type of people. Unfortunately, a lot of us build our builds and do stupid shit, but we do it in private areas. Like, I've drifted the car. I've gone to private areas where there's no traffic, no nothing, and done stupid shit. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I've done it. I've done racing, right? I've done certain things, and obviously I can't say too much, right? But I've done a lot of stupid things, but I calculate how stupid those things are, right? I'm not stopping traffic, do donuts in the middle of the road, and just for the scene and the cloud and stuff. Like, you guys want to do that, bring it to the track, go to the back of some factories where it's empty and do it and record it. That's sick. I don't mind that, as long as everyone's safe and you're not making the scene worse. Like, the scene is so hard here already to do things to the car, and hopefully it doesn't get to the point where we can't do anything and it kills all the love, right? Because if we can't build cars here and modify cars here, what are you guys gonna do, right? Like, all these people that do stupid shit on the streets, block intersections, stuff, like, what's gonna happen? What do you guys, you know what I mean? Like, when cops completely shut modified car scene down and government starts being on board with that, I hope it doesn't get there. I really, really, really stress that you guys do these things, and it's fine if you do it. I've done stupid shit, trust me. Just do it in private areas. Don't do it in residential. Don't do it in between traffic and all that type of stuff. Just do it in private areas, and I think it's gonna be fine, right? What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? A cop finds you in a parking lot with no cars around you drifting. They might give you some shit, but at least you're not gonna, endanger people's lives. So I really hope that it doesn't continue on the route it's going, because I really see, unfortunately, the scene dying out here because of all this stupid shit. Which aero kit will I be going with and why? I have no idea, man. Like, I love the Pandem kit, but that shit is expensive. It's like $8K US. I'm here in Canada, so shipping, duties, paint, bigger wheels, I'm looking at like 20 grand. Just to wide body the car, and I would love to. I love the Pandem kit. I love the HKS kit too, but right now they're out of budget. I'm trying to do as much as I can without breaking bank at the moment, and they're way out of budget. But I'm not 100% sure yet. I found a company called Access that does some cool carbon fiber stuff. I might start working with that, and maybe after that, I don't think I'll have eventually I'd like to wide body it in the future and stuff like that, because I've never done it, and my goal in life is to do things in the car scene I've never done, and one thing is like wide bodying a car, and this could be the wide body boosted car that drifts or is on the track. I would do that, or I don't know yet. I don't know exactly what aero kit to go with, but I definitely need some aero. I really want a duck bill. I've been slacking on it. I just can't debate between the OEM GR spoiler, a carbon rep, but it's still carbon, or the Street Hunters. But us guys here in Canada, we get shafted with prices, so we're always paying more than you US guys. But to answer your question, I'm not 100% sure yet. It might be a variance of different brands and stuff, because there's certain things I like from one brand and I don't like from another, so we might mix it up just a little bit and be a little unique. All right, there it is. I answered some of your questions. If you guys do want me to continue this, comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The BRZ's clean. This was just a small Q&A with you guys, and I actually enjoyed talking and expressing some of my feelings and stuff to you guys and opening up so we can connect a little more. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like and comment down below, and obviously subscribe. Our goal is to hit 30K. Hit that up, and if you guys want, support the brand, lowpesgarage.com. All I gotta say is right now we have our only drop, but I am working on something big at the moment. So, and Lowpes Garage will be hosting that, and I think you guys are gonna like what's coming up. I really do. Been working really hard at it, and I'm excited for that. I make sure everything I put on the site is awesome quality and stuff. So sometimes it takes a little longer, but I'd rather it take longer and give you guys better quality stuff than just pumping out shit at the end of the day. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. Do it once, do it right. Later. Another question about turbo. Turbo.